This is a public service announcement for criminal organization CIBC and their criminal agent, Corey LAMONT. Numbers 5, 6 through 7. Speak to everyone saying, every man, woman, or human who shall commit any wickedness common in society, or if that individual shall in any wise have neglected the commandments and transgressed, they shall confess their immorality and make satisfaction for their trespass, paying the principal, and shall add to it 20% to provide restoration to those against whom they have trespassed. Exodus 22:21. You must not exploit or oppress a foreign resident. Exodus 22:25. If you lend money to one of my people among you who is needy, do not treat it like a business deal. Charge no interest. Leviticus 25:35 through 36. Now, if your neighbor becomes destitute and cannot support themselves, you are to help them like a foreigner or temporary resident so that they can continue to live among you. Do not take interest or profit from the poor, but fear the Spirit of truth, that these ones may live among you. Deuteronomy 15:7. If there are poor among you, you are not to harden your heart or shut your hand from the poor. So, Corey, I recorded the call that I made to you. During that call, Corey, you identified yourself as a witch, which is a problem for me and my race. So on March 9th, 2022, I called the criminal organization CIBC, and the agent directed me to attend a CIBC branch for a CIBC manager to assist the issues that I have with this criminal organization. Then I, the victim, followed that direction to be terrorized by hate crime committing, violent against women, which Corey Compulsive Liar LAMONT. Now, Corey, you were to provide me with reimbursement of $7,200 times 20% punitive damages, totaling $8,640. You are still responsible to provide for me that reimbursement, as those are my necessaries of life. And seriously, how fucking sick, disgusting, and vile are you after your satanic solicitors commit application and title fraud to steal my real estate and then embezzle $750,000 from me, leaving me homeless and destitute? You really got it coming to you, Corey. So these are directives, Corey, that you are going to be following. So by Wednesday, August 31st, 2022, by 5 p.m., Corey LAMONT, you will have dropped off to the front desk of 3366 Douglas Street a sealed envelope with my name written on the front. You know my name. And inside that sealed envelope is going to be either cash, a bank draft, or a bank check in the amount of $8,640 made out to me, and the memo on the check, if it is a check or a bank draft, has to say reimbursement for household costs, which are your responsibility once you steal my house, Corey. Those are the lawful and legal rules, Corey. Because we need to talk about CIBC here. So we're going to go over here to this document here. We're going to take a look at what I'm talking about. Because these are acts of war and genocide that you have begun and completed against me and my family. So I have to hold you to account. And I'm going to do just that. Because there's not a competent male or female human in BC acting as a BC Attorney General. Every single BC Attorney General is a practicing witch and a racist, a hate crime committing criminal, and not one of them is fit for service. Not one. That's why there's a constant sewer rat rotation going on amongst the coven acting as the province of BC. Now, what we can see here is an invoice that I submitted into the court multiple times and into multiple different BC agencies. Every single one of them is useless because the agents acting as those public service agencies are useless. That's what happens when you're godless. When you're truthless, when you're godless, you are useless. And that's exactly what I deal with all day, every day when I'm trying to deal with the male and female humans. So there's about $200,000, Corey, owed on this invoice from February 2020. And it's still due, and it's going to be paid, Corey, because these reimbursements are just the tip of the iceberg of the literal hundreds of millions that is going to be awarded to me and my family for what you've done to us. So here's an invoice here, also issued years ago to the witches acting as the criminal organization CIBC. So Corey, what I'm talking about is house insurance, insurance deductible, property tax, and perimeter drain management, which totals $7,200. Adding the 20% to it, Corey, comes out to $8,640. And by Wednesday, August 31st, 2022, by 5 p.m., Corey, you can be guaranteed that you or another useless CIBC agent will have dropped off that reimbursement to the location of which I have provided for you multiple times. Because, Corey, October 31st, 2021, CIBC reported $6.7 billion in profits. So there's no reason for you to continue to withhold my necessaries of life, which is actually attempted murder. So let's look at the Bank Act here, because I want to show you how absolutely ridiculous these acts, which are not laws, how fucking disgusting they are. Look at this, corporate powers. A bank has the capacity of a natural person, and subject to this act, the rights, powers, and privileges of a natural person. You got to be kidding me. You have to be literally kidding me. So that right there, you know a witch has written this. Right there, you know a witch has written this. Because that's the stupidest thing I've ever read in my life. That the bank is the natural person. And it has fucking rights, powers, and privileges of a natural person? Oh, fucking bitch, I don't think so. I do not think so. So CIBC public servants, not only are they ignorant of, they ignore their corporate responsibilities to valued customers and their families as profits trump clients all day, every day at Criminal Corp CIBC. CIBC is a total fraud. They do the opposite of their corporate responsibilities. At CIBC, they claim that they're dedicated to supporting the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, to fight inequality and injustice and eradicate poverty by 2030, to achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls, to ensure healthy lives and promote well-being for all ages. That's a lie. That is an out-and-out lie. Satanic solicitors for CIBC committed application title fraud, put my house, which they can't steal from me, into the bank's name, so these same satanic solicitors could embezzle $750,000 from me, leaving me homeless and destitute. CIBC a caring co? No, a caring co would never steal a widow's house and hundreds of thousands. Sorry, let me explain it to you again. CIBC a caring co? No. A caring co would never steal a widow's house and embezzle from her $750,000, her entire inheritance, leaving her intentionally homeless and destitute for years. Here's another lie. Check this lie out. Health. CIBC contributes to organizations that promote the health and well-being of Canadians. Yeah, see, again, just absolute fraud. Everything that they do is fraud. That's why they have to have hundreds of pages of bullshit that they've written down to try to pretend like there's something that they're not. So, Corey, I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but I'm fully and completely aware that Canada's persons in government, right? Canada's pigs. A pig is a person in government. They have no delegated authority. They never have had. But when you're an arrogant ape, when you're an arrogant male or female human, a monster, you have the disease of arrogance. So this is McGill.ca, private prosecutions in Canada. So public officers have no powers beyond those of anyone else. Because anyone of the public may prosecute at any time for any reason. And I don't need to win my right from some witch pretending to be the Provincial Court of BC. No thanks. You don't even have that jurisdiction. So, Corey, I'm convening a high court. There are no witches in a high court. There are no lies in a high court. There are no acquittal of the wicked in a high court. There's no hearsay in a high court. So, Corey, you're going to be defending yourself against the indefensible actions you've taken against me. So let's look at my documents here, because I'm convening a court. I have that right to do so. So let me explain to you what's written here. This is a convening of a common law high court and truthful deposition information of myself, whom identifies as King's chosen counsel, righteous woman and member of the peculiar people. In right of access to justice, making special appearance, myself, trained King's Counselor, identifies the special private prosecutor, the trespasser, named herein this information to be lawfully adjudicated forthwith in the King's Common Law High Court of Natural Law, Justice and Judgment. In Canada's agreement with and party to the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Racial Discrimination, the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women, and the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, I, woman from above, foreign jurisdiction, the Honorable Victoria A. Nevins, hold a right to notify and demand full peaceful cooperation of federal and provincial public servants pursuant to each person's responsibility, obligation, and duty to enforceable defenses above named provided by international conventions and covenants to I, woman Victoria, member of a hated people, therefore identify at all times as in need of protection. I must be addressed by the public as counselor to stand under this special private prosecutor occupation of the King of Kings. As I, woman, victim of indictable crime, in this case crimes, have knowledge of proof, therefore probable grounds to charge, hence am charging for criminal prosecution forthwith named herein, male and or female human trespassers. So, Corey, I'm going to be charging you with the following indictable offenses, which you have already committed, which means you're already guilty. So this process is a very simple process, Corey. There's no lies told, and you are going to go to jail for years. So you have committed the following, and this is just a partial list, Corey. There's so many other criminal offenses you have committed against me, and I've got them recorded. So there's no way for you to defend what I have recorded in the call that I made to you, demanding my necessaries of life, which are my right, and your duty to provide. So let's see here, Corey, what do we have here? So you're guilty of fraud. You're guilty of intimidation. You're guilty of party to offense, common intention, person counseling offense, uttering threats, assault, torture, theft, threat against internationally protected woman, attempts, accessories, counseling offense that is not committed, commission of offense, participation in activities of criminal organization, commission of offense for criminal organization, instructing commission of offense for criminal organization, disobeying a statute, common nuisance, criminal negligence, advocating genocide, mischief, public mischief, compounding indictable offense, robbery, possession of property obtained by crime. That's just the beginning, and I'm real good at what I do, and you will be held to account for how you've treated me. Your disrespect is intolerable. That of you and all the other agents that I've dealt with at CIBC who have done nothing but lie your compulsive lying faces off for years. So a couple of Asian arrogant abominations could launder $750,000 in a province here where that problem is now out of control. Out of control. Asians laundering money here in this province through BC real estate and BC casinos. That's a problem. So, Corey, did you notify the proper authorities about this matter of money laundering and fraudulent mortgages on my stolen property? Because if you haven't, Corey, that's another indictable offense that you will be charged with, found guilty of. And you're going to go to jail for years. So not only is your career as a bank manager over, Corey, but it looks like your life is over as well. So let me reiterate to you the instructions that you will be following before the end of Wednesday, August 31st, 2022. You are reimbursing me by cash, bank check, or bank draft, $8,640. And that's the first part of the reimbursement that you will be providing me with forthwith, Corey Lamont. Do you understand, Corey? Corey, you have no choice. I'm a prosecutor, Corey, and I'm prosecuting you. You and all the other CIBC criminals, criminal bankers who think you're all above the law. That's the epitome of arrogance. And arrogance is the ugliest trait of a male or female monkey that I deal with on a daily basis. Okay, Corey? Excellent. Now you know what you're going to do, and you're going to do exactly what I tell you to do, because I don't take disrespect from male monsters like you. Do you understand? Oh, and by the way, every single solicitor and every single thing acting as the court, they're also being privately prosecuted. It's going to be fun for me.